No, it is such a cool con. I mean, next year you and Rachel have to come. I mean, this between the parties and the celebrities, the panels, and me on a panel and dealer's room and all the rest. Y'all got to come.
I want to. I want to come. So next year, I have a plan for this next year.
Okay.
Next year I'll come with you guys.
Yeah,
But the problem is it's expensive.
Yeah.
So you being the big boss man I work for,
Yeah.
you take care of that stuff.
Yeah.
If you can set it up so I'll get a big raise, I can go to DragonCon next year with you guys. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You serious?
No, of course not.
Oh.
You are listening to the Old Titans. This is John Paul.
This is the director, co-creator, executive producer of the Old Titans, the one and only B-Man.
I feel like we're at, an episode of Game of Thrones here.
I'm trying to get it bigger. I'm trying to get
You're
it
getting it bigger, and I'm John Paul.
That's what it is, man.
Okay, all right, that works. That works.
Yes.
So how you been?
I've been good, man. I mean, it's been good.
All right. Well,
You were gone last week.
I was gone for part of last week.
You were gone for most of last week.
Yeah, I was gone for quite a bit of it. Yeah.
It wasn't the same without you.
Well, that's good to hear. Unless
The craziest thing happened, though, I was at Target the other day, right?
Okay.
And I heard this lady complaining, this really guy being foolish in front of her. I'm like, John Paul's here. Wasn't you, though. It was a different phone.
Okay, I see what you did there.
That was good.
That's good. So, how about we go into our normal beginning here outside of what you did right there, and we will go to the B-Man question of the week.
Easy question. In your personal opinion, what is the greatest TV saga of all time?
Greatest TV saga, and this is just for rule, just to make sure I understand, because I have an answer. I have a clear answer. I just hope I don't have to revise it. One that actually got to complete and do its full saga, not one that, say like Firefly, that had a saga in mind, but...
Yeah, if Firefly lasted 5 or 6 seasons, it would be a different story.
Yeah.
My favorite one-season show of all time, definitely Firefly.
Yeah.
But
and there could be something that was planned for one season, and that was it. That'd be okay, but there's plenty of them that have not lasted.
And yes.
Okay. So for me, the number one, I think with no question, is Babylon 5. I think Babylon 5... he had the entire story planned out. Not every moment of every story, but the overall arc planned out for 5 years. The only exception to his 5-year plan was every year they never knew whether they get to come back for the next year. But most of the time that was okay until he got 3 seasons done. And then going into season 4, is where we're so close to the end now. And it suddenly became very precarious as to whether or not there'd be a season 5. They knew they were getting 4, but they weren't sure about 5. So he stripped out all of the standalone stories and just made everything just the pure arc for all of season 4. So what was supposed to be a 5-year story ended up being a 4-year story, and then they got renewed. So season 5 of that feels very anticlimactic. It's still good, you still enjoy it, but the main story was done, and it was all, prologue. Or not prologue, whatever. It's
Epilogue.
Epilogue, sorry,
Yes.
epilogue. It's all epilogue after that. And it was good, enjoyed it, but as a saga, he got to tell his entire story, and it was a great story.
Huh. Never actually saw Babylon 5. Never watched it.
Yeah, it still holds up. I actually went back and watched a couple episodes, and some people died. The number of actors on there who were great first is wonderful. Andreas Katsoulis and some others, some great actors. But the number of them who've passed away is it's amazing for the age they were. They're not that old. And Jeff Conway, you saw Grease, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Kaneki, John Travolta's best friend in that.
Yeah.
He plays a security officer on the show. He passed away soon after it. I mean, he's not that old. I mean, he's our age, and the number of them who've died is just amazing. But that aside, J. Michael Straczynski created absolutely, in my opinion, the best space opera saga has ever been. So,
Best, like including Star Wars, or you're talking TV shows?
TV shows.
Okay.
TV shows.
Now, if you asked me this question a couple of years ago, I say Walking Dead.
Okay.
I loved Walking Dead. I was addicted to it. Had to be home Sunday night no matter what. And, I love football. We talked about this a few times. Yeah. Walking Dead actually for a while, took priority over football on Sunday nights. Which is actually saying a lot. If you know me, that's saying a lot.
That's good.
I watch football Sunday nights. Unfortunately, it's ever since the Terminus thing, when Carol just wiped out Terminus.
Right. Which was cool.
It was an awesome moment. I still enjoy the show, but if I watch the show the next day now, as long as I don't read social media what happens,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm not. I don't feel like, oh, I gotta get home and watch this.
There's not that burning desire to see what happened next.
And a couple years ago, it's been gone a couple years.
That's where I got to on Game of Thrones. I enjoy it, but I didn't have to watch it all at once. And part of that's probably because you have to pay to watch it on HBO.
Well, that's funny. Eventually, you can watch anything you want to watch, I think.
Yeah.
But it's funny you should say that because my answer is actually Game of Thrones.
I did not see that coming. Well,
Really?
yes, actually I did. But that's why I mentioned Game
No,
of Thrones.
again, Game of Thrones hasn't ended yet. But it's one season left, even though the season's like 2 years away, which is just ridiculous.
Oh,
if you ask me.
that's dumb. It's going to be an abbreviated season, probably.
Yeah, I hate what they're doing with that. But I mean, I never really didn't enjoy an episode. I loved the episode I saw. I love all the characters. I love to hate Cersei. People hate Cersei.
Yeah, I think I was going to have you qualify the loving every character.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. No, except
there's one
who shall
character
not be named or whatever.
No, I will name Bran Stark every minute of this day.
Yeah, but now you repress yourself by saying his name out loud, don't you?
No, I don't, because that character is so boring.
Oh, okay.
And
not the actor. Again, to be clear, it's not the actor.
It might be the actor's fault. Because honestly, think of this, right?
But the actor has so much more energy himself than the character does. I think he's being told to do it that way.
I don't think so. Because think of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big dork. We played Dungeons and Dragons before together.
Oh, yeah.
I like the off-the-top characters who are just not the basic characters.
Right.
That's characters I always used to play. Bran is the character who can, go through time and all this crazy stuff. This is a character
it's cool.
I should love. I can't stand him. He's so boring to me. And even going to like some of the old episodes he's with, the other kid he was with, just as boring as he was. It was painful to watch for a point in time. I'm actually glad that the kid died. I hope Bran dies episode 1 in the first 5 minutes. See him again. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. Now, think of it.
Let me ask you that real quick. When you say the other kid, you're talking about the one he was traveling with?
Yeah, the boy. I can't remember the other kid's name.
But the other Stark?
No, not...
Rickon?
Yeah, he's dead already.
Okay, I was going to ask you. I couldn't remember. It was one of those, I just could not remember whatever happened to Rickon.
Rickon died in the Battle of the Bastards.
Did
he was running across the Jon Snow and Ramsay shot him.
Okay, I could not remember. That's how important he was to the story. I couldn't remember.
Rickon kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
No, it was a lady and her brother found him and whatever. It was horribly boring.
Yeah.
But he's a character I should, in theory, love. I hate this character. I want to tear my eyes when I see him. Ironically, though, one of my favorite characters in the show is Brianna, who's actually a character I normally would hate. She's almost the closest thing to like a paladin you can get in this show, right?
And usually kind of boring. Yeah,
and they're usually kind of boring, but I love her. She's just my top 3 favorite characters in the show.
Yeah.
So
you just never know how it's going to go.
What are you doing right now with your phone?
I was pulling up names and such. So I don't forget how they're pronounced.
Oh, okay. Well, I was a little worried right there for a second.
No, nothing weird. Nothing weird.
Okay, well, that's good. Anyways, yes. So as of right now, Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah. Now I would love for some of these things to change. Like I will say, depending on Noah Hawley's plans for Legion, if he has like a multi-year arc for Legion, and every year stays as good as season 1, Legion, I could see that becoming a better saga.
I can't. Season 1 was enjoyable. I liked it a lot. I'm looking forward to season 2, but season 1 I wouldn't compare to any season in Game of Thrones. Not one season.
I disagree on that one. I thought it was.
You're a weird
done
man,
so
John
well.
Ross. What it is?
I thought it was done so well.
It was done really well. But again, there's.
It depends on how it all ties together. That's the other thing.
Okay.
If every season is just another season of the characters doing their thing, and it's not a saga, that's different. Game of Thrones is definitely there's a beginning, middle, and an end to the story, and you're done. Walking Dead, there's a beginning, and everything else is middle. I'm not sure there ever is an end for Walking Dead, so that's why I probably wouldn't have even. I still wouldn't have picked it, but I don't think I would even include it because I wouldn't include Flash or Arrow or any of those. They're just ongoing things.
Yeah, I could see that.
I would pick something that has a clear.
Walking Dead has a chance to be an end. They find a cure and they find a safe city and.
Oh, I mean, it could. I just don't. I don't see them ever doing it.
It's probably in Canada. It's got to be in Canada. The safest area in Canada. I guarantee it is.
Hawaii. How about Hawaii?
Well, if you get to Hawaii, yeah.
If you can get there, I mean, you have the potential with something like an island station.
I never thought of it. Why didn't they ever get to a boat? Like, they're in Atlanta, right?
I think Fear
Wouldn't you go
got to a boat, right?
I stopped watching Fear.
I'm not watching either, but I think they got to boats.
But I would think, one of my plans, if I'm on the coast, like, Atlanta is close to the coast at least.
Yeah, well, close enough.
Well, it's close enough where
For how long they've traveled,
Yeah.
yes, they could have easily gotten to the coast and gotten a boat.
Yeah, I would have gotten a boat and went somewhere else.
Well, see, I would have gone south anyway. From Atlanta, I would not have gone north. And I know there was the whole is there a cure? Get this guy, weird guy, up north because he has a cure or whatever. But long before then, I'd have been traveling south because if you have no power or anything else, you want to get to where the climate is better and you don't have to deal with harsh winters and such.
But the thing about the harsh winters, I imagine the harsh winters would destroy the walkers.
I don't know because
You really can't move in the wintertime.
yeah, I guess that's true. But I still would have gone south. I would have gone to northern Florida.
I think it's probably easier to get warm in wintertime than it is to get cool in summertime.
That's why I went North Florida.
Okay.
Don't go all the way to Miami unless you want to go all the way to the Keys if you want. And if you get to the Keys, that's the other thing. If you get down to the Keys, and kind of block off, there's only one path in or out.
That's true.
And then you can have boats if you do need to go somewhere else.
That's true.
Unless there's a hurricane coming.
This is a hurricane. By the way, in case you're wondering, if you don't hear from us again, the hurricane took us out.
Yeah.
Yes, a big hurricane. I think it's called Hurricane Death. Is coming our way right now. Is that what it's called?
It's
Irma.
Irma.
Okay, well, this is an episode before Hurricane Irma hits. So if you don't hear from us again, John Paul is probably on a flagpole somewhere. I made it out alive because I'm smart enough to stay alive, but
Okay.
sorry
Sure.
about that.
Okay.
So news.
News. We'll move on to the news. Okay. So you will probably not be surprised with the 2 news items I have.
Hit me up.
Okay. First item. Over the weekend, Wonder Woman. Domestically, at least.
I'm not surprised.
Not
yes.
surprised, yes. Domestically, Wonder Woman passed, just recently it passed Spider-Man, has now passed Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Iron Man 3. So she is now the 5th best-selling superhero on our shores. The only thing higher is the 2 Avengers movies and the 2nd and 3rd Batman movie. So individual character-wise, the only character who's outsold her across any of these things is Batman. Which kind of makes sense when you look at comic book sales.
Right.
Batman would. And a team as the Avengers, between the fact that it was the Avengers and it was Joss Whedon, that makes sense. That would be higher.
Well, I mean, at least Avengers 1 and The Dark Knight,
Yeah.
the second Batman movie, those are better movies.
And those are the top 2 in that order. That's the top 2.
And those are the best 2, in my opinion.
Yeah, the next 2 don't really deserve to be that high. They just were riding on the coattails of the first 2.
Which makes sense. I see that happening. I still say The Crow's better than Wonder Woman.
Love The Crow. Don't get me wrong. Love The Crow. The Crow is never going to do this kind of numbers. Even if it
No.
came out today, The Crow never
R-rated
does.
movies won't do any of these numbers.
Well, even
Well, and Deadpool made a lot of
Deadpool
noise.
made a lot. I don't know so much about the R. It's an independent. Nobody knows the character. I mean, honestly, the money it made was really because of the tragedy with Brandon Lee's death.
Well,
If
it
you-
was
if you
a really
not-
good movie.
Oh, it was. But think about it. If that had not happened for the extra publicity,
Well, that's true.
it would not have
That is true.
really gone anywhere. Second item. Again, you won't be surprised. Remember, next year, we've talked about it. The Titans, Teen Titans, we got
Yes.
a TV show coming.
More
Well,
DC news, yes.
Yeah,
this is great.
a streaming show coming. They finally cast the most important character on the show, and I don't say that because of being a favorite, but because he's the team lead, Dick Grayson.
Okay.
So they finally cast Dick Grayson. Hey, Batman, Batman connected here.
That's
In
great.
fact, you have a chance, small chance, of having kind of in a flashback, because I don't think you'll see Batman like in the present, but if you ever have Dick Grayson doing flashbacks to early days of adventuring with Batman, he's got to at least mention him. You can't not mention Batman on the show if you got Dick Grayson on there.
Right.
Brenton Thwaites. I'm probably not saying the name right, but Brenton Thwaites. He was Will Turner's son in the most recent of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Anyway, he has been cast as Dick Grayson. So age-wise, you got him. He's 28. He could play anything, probably from 18 up. Kind of like Michael J. Fox, could always play a wide
This
range.
a TV show or a movie?
Netflix style show. It's going to be DC's streaming service.
Okay.
So ongoing series, or at least 10 episodes or whatever. But you've got a really young girl who's like 13 years old for Raven. You've got him at 28 years old, and I'm talking real ages here. So 13 and 28. You got Raven and Dick Grayson. We don't know if he'll be Robin or Nightwing. I would hope at that age they'd have him as Nightwing.
Imagine if he's 20 years old in real life, they probably make his character about 21. Give him 22.
Yeah, probably early 20s. And what I'm kind of hoping is the first episode, there's something that happens that makes Dick Grayson realize he has to come out of retirement. He's in that period of time where he's retired Robin, but hasn't taken on the mantle of Nightwing.
Okay.
That would be kind of a good way of him coming out of retirement and putting a team together.
That sounds intriguing, yes.
It would work. It would work.
Okay, well, I'm glad you came up with the DC. Any Marvel news?
I have zero Marvel news. Zero. I'm sorry.
I'm not surprised at all.
I'm sure there's some Marvel news out there.
Do you search or you just go to like DCnews.com?
I go to comicbook.com and Newsarama and just see what the top stories are. And, well,
Because Inhumans comes out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, well, something like that, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a show.
Let's talk about that at the very end. Maybe as a question or something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not.
How about you? You've been doing anything?
This weekend, actually, took my daughter to Hollywood Studios.
And for those listening who don't realize, that's formerly MGM
Disney,
Studios.
yes, Disney Hollywood Studios.
And part of the Disney World
It's
Resort
actually
area.
renamed again soon, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Although what I heard, they're working in this really cool Star Wars hotel. Have you heard about this yet?
I heard they were doing one, yeah.
It's going to be a Star Wars hotel, but it's like $1,500 for 3 nights a month. It's some ridiculous price.
It's an experience. Like, you're not just staying at the hotel,
But
you
yeah,
get a whole experience.
You're going on like these quests and stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
That
It's
will
a great
be.
idea. And because, unfortunately, there's not a lot to do there right now, but there's a lot of cool
Yeah.
Star Wars things. And there's a cool Star Wars, you walk in there and there's a really cool Star Wars show. It used to be the Smash Stormtroopers and Phasma come out there. But now there's like a little screen behind them and they show those characters. They just
Okay.
added Rey to the show recently.
Okay.
And
That's
Rey
cool.
from the new Star Wars
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, not the Atom Ray.
And I
No,
saw
no.
her from
Yeah, okay.
I saw her from a distance, like, wow, she looks really like Rey.
Yeah.
You blow it off.
Yeah.
And, wife and my daughter are walking around, that kind of stuff, and they walk past us.
Yeah.
And JP, if you told me that was really Daisy Ridley dressed up like Rey, I'd believe it. This girl was just as convincing as possible as being Rey.
And for all we know, it's not likely, but for all we know, it was. I mean,
It probably wasn't, is my guess.
well, I'll use that as a segue over to it. DragonCon.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that some this time. We did a preview last time. Went to see Jewel State. She played Kaylee on Firefly.
Yes, no, she is, yes.
During her panel, one thing she mentioned is she did go walk around the con some with her husband, and she didn't dress up, but she fixed her hair different and kind of dressed differently, so maybe people would recognize her. No one really did. But she made a joke, and somebody said something to her, and she made a joke about it. But I think it'd be true. If at a con like that, if you're a character like Kaylee, and if she'd put on, say, the overalls and the whole thing, and walked around with a little parasol, and pretended to just be somebody cosplaying the character, she could probably walk around that convention and have a lot of people take her picture. Hey, you look so much like her. But people would assume that it's not her. They just assume she's doing a fantastic job. And I bet she could go completely incognito.
Would you do that? I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh, that would be fantastic to do. Because a lot of these actors, not all, but a lot of them do dress up, but usually with a mask on of some type to walk around.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them wouldn't have to even do that. Now, if you're a big enough name, a Shatner level or whatever, that you probably couldn't get away with it. But there's a lot of them. I bet they could just do that. And
I would tell them who I was, that's the thing. Like, I want to be, yes, I am B-Man. Love me. Kneel before B-Man. I would do that, kneel before B-Man.
Kneel before being
I should maybe start the show that way next time. Instead of Old Titans, kneel before B-Man.
Maybe for your next cosplay you can do Zod, and that way you can mix the two together.
I think, maybe I won't do that, but
Okay, yeah.
I'll consider it.
Could work.
Okay.
All right, so DragonCon. Before I kind of spill just and gush about everything that happened, is there anything specific you want to ask about?
What was the best thing you did at DragonCon? Like, your favorite? You were there for 4 days, right? 4 days of long experience?
We got there at noon on Thursday and left at noon on Monday.
Okay. So about 4 days. Whatever, 3.5, call it. What was the number one thing you did? Like, oh my God, this was so much fun. You had to do this. Go for it. What is it?
Number one thing. That'd be difficult because I will say almost everything we did was a ton of fun.
Okay.
Almost. There's a couple of exceptions. I'll mention them. I'm not going to hide the non-fun, but almost everything was. Probably the best was the Supergirl panel that I was on because they've got both the celebrity panels and the fan panels, which is fans talking.
So the best one the favorite thing at DragonCon was you talking?
Well, not just me. There was 4 of us on
Okay,
the panel.
Did you promote the Old Titans while you were there, by
I
the way?
promoted the heck out of the Old Titans.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Everybody on the panel, except for one, was promoting all their podcasts and shows, and I directed people out to listen to us. Told them they, could listen to themselves. They're asking questions, that kind of thing. So
Did you record us?
I recorded one of the 2 panels I was on. I tried to record both, and I had a technical problem on the first one where it stopped recording after 4 seconds.
We've done that before here on Old Titans.
Yeah,
It's not nothing new to us.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But on the second one, I got the entire thing. I just haven't edited it yet, so I need to edit it down and find out, do I post the whole thing or do I just cut out segments that came
Post
out
the
better?
entire thing.
Well, for questions for the audience, we had sections where there were a lot of questions from the audience, and not everybody was on microphone. So I might have to cut out stuff where there's just dead silence for a while.
All right.
So maybe I'll do it in chunks and then just
All right.
commentary in between or something. But that panel was good because we had so much audience participation, and all the panelists were really good, and we just had a great hour-long conversation about Supergirl. And
How many showed up at this panel?
at this panel, this one was probably the best attended of the three that I went to. I was on two and attended
Right.
3 of the fan panels. The other one I did and the other fan panel that I just attended were in the 20 to 25 person range. The Supergirl one was somewhere, I'm trying to add, it was 50 plus. It could have been
okay.
75. Somewhere in the 50 to 75 person range.
And the main question to this one is, did anyone know you from Old Titans originally?
Nobody knew me from Old Titans originally, no.
They probably know me, that's why. Okay.
Unless you count Karen. She was in the audience. And of course,
Karen counts as long as she knows me.
yeah, well, she knows us both. So I
That
guess
is
that
crazy.
counts. But anyway, so it was fun because of the back and forth with the audience. If you don't get the audience asking a lot of questions, it can still be fun, but not as good. And if you have panelists who are not as good at being spontaneous with good remarks, then the whole thing can fall apart. But we had a good group.
Okay.
So that was probably the number one thing.
All right.
Any other questions?
No, hit me up more stuff.
Okay, all right.
More
So,
panels.
so the things we always look forward to, in general classifications, there's the celebrity panels, there's the fan panels, there's the parties, the dealer's room, all the costuming. Those are kind of the general categories. The celebrity panels we saw. Okay, so we saw Nathan Fillion.
Yes, we did.
Absolutely fantastic.
We did,
I would say Nathan Fillion and John Barrowman are my top 2 panelists I've ever seen.
But when they had this year?
Barrowman was there. I
Okay.
did not get to see him this year. That was kind of a bummer. Didn't get to see him, but and not because I was kept out of a room. Just schedule wise, it didn't work out to where I got to see him. But Nathan Fillion, I'd never seen before in a panel like that, and he was a one man show, and he was very funny, very engaging. You can tell he loves being there. And he mentioned it so many times about how lucky he feels, as he was part of this small show. As far as number of episodes that was canceled even, but because of that, it's given his life so much more opportunities, and he loves giving back, and he loves being a part of this community, and he was great. He even had one moment where there was a brother sister combo that came up to the microphone, because you have the just like all panels, you got people come up to the microphones to ask questions, and you have all different kinds. Some you roll your eyes at, some are great questions. And you had this one brother-sister combo. She was about 12 years old, and he was 16, I think. They mentioned their ages. Anyway, so she was the younger sibling. And after their question, he asked her to come up front. He said, okay, well, and he pulls out from under the table this keychain. Here's a little Serenity keychain. He said, always hide these at different places at conventions for people to find. I want to give you this one. I was a younger sibling. I don't know what that's like. So I want you to hold on to this. This is for me to you. This is something special. And he did that. Shook her hand and all that kind of stuff. And that was very, very nice. So he was a great panelist. He really was.
Oh, it always is, though.
Yeah.
Best cosplay you saw? Because I'm looking at some pictures right now, and if you go to Titus Podcast, pictures you see John Paul took, Instagram as well.
Instagram.
Yeah, the Destroyer looks incredible.
It looked just as good. A lot of times, stuff in pictures looks better than in person.
Right.
The Destroyer looked just as good in person. He was fantastic. I will say, from my sudden giddy reaction at the time and the fact that I ran across the hotel to capture the picture.
Was Kiss?
No, it was not
Okay,
Kiss.
not
Although
Kiss.
Kiss was cool.
Okay.
No, it was Bill. Remember Saturday morning cartoons and the Conjunction Junction, What's Your Function, and all the other.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm just a Bill. Oh yes, I'm only
I
a
know,
Bill.
I know Bill.
Okay.
I actually don't see that on the
I don't think
podcast.
I've posted that one yet. I've got a bunch to still post, so I'll be posting that as well. But somebody was dressed up as Bill from Schoolhouse Rocks, and that one just made me so happy. It's one I've wanted to do for a long time, and she did perfect. She was there with Interplanet Janet, so that was also kind of
So
cool.
you did not see Bill. Did your wife dress Wonder Woman this year? At Steampunk Wonder Woman?
No.
She did not do that.
This year we our cosplays were kind of coordinated. The first night there was a retro party where it was retro TV stuff, and so things like $6 Million Man, Buck Rogers, whatever, Gilligan's Island,
I see
things like
superhero
that.
one, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we were Sonny and Cher, so that was fun. I got to shave off the beard and leave just the cheesy mustache, which I grew out a little bit. We did Sonny and Cher that night, and had a ton of people recognize us and loved it. So that was fun. The second day we did Supergirl and Brainiac 5.
Which picture is posted on Twitter as well. I
Yes.
didn't see that, yes.
Yeah, that was great. That was the one we went to the Legion photo shoot for.
But no Wonder Woman from her.
No Wonder Woman this year.
Because she's kind of a hot Wonder Woman. She's a
Okay.
smoking hot lady right there.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
But yeah, she'd done Wonder Woman, I think, 3 different conventions, variations and all. So this time it was Supergirl, and she was a great Supergirl. She went to the Super Family photo shoot as Supergirl and the Legion photo shoot. And we had 2 Brainiac 5s there, one from the animated series, one from Classic, which was me. We had Matter Eater Lad. We actually had
I bet
Matter
he
Eater.
was a big hit, huh?
He was.
Was he really?
Yeah. We had Chameleon Boy. He was great. We had
I don't
Star
know.
Boy.
Yeah. And this is
Lightning
why I
Lad.
can't stand these characters. They are the worst names in history of any comic book characters.
Yeah, there's just something nostalgic about them.
No,
It's
nothing
wonderful.
is just terrible.
Yeah,
It's-
and a Superboy. Yeah, we had a Superboy.
oh god.
So that was fun, and we did even okay. What are the little bitty figures that you gave me a few of? That is the game.
HeroClix.
HeroClix. Okay, we did some HeroClix poses. We put some tables together to make a square pedestal and put the Legion flag over it to make it look like it was the HeroClix pedestal. And it was square, not round, but it still worked. And then we had each of the characters pose on that. I got to post those as well, and that was a very cool thing. So that was when we get to the cosplay stuff. That was probably my favorite was the Legion photo shoot. But we also did the Super photo shoot, the giant DC shoot. We did that. What other photo shoots did we do? There was one other one. Oh, we did not get to the Heroes of the CW photo shoot. We wanted to go to that one, just didn't work out timing wise.
What celebrities did you meet, or did you meet any?
Okay, so meeting wise, as far as like face to face, whether we
Yes.
shook hands or not, face to face, not a lot of face to face. I saw Peter David from across the room. I never got up to him actually. I know that's not the Nathan Fillion level.
Did you yell, Peter David, it's John Paul from Old Titans? Because he might have known you then.
Well, he knows me. We've talked multiple
Does he
times in
really?
the past. Yeah, he actually knows me. He's a big bowler. So when I worked for the bowling congress, we had a lot of bowling conversations and such at
Now,
his
see,
table.
if Peter David was on the Old Titans podcast, we actually
We might try
listeners.
to arrange that.
Could you
Might
arrange
try-
that?
Might try. Yeah.
You might try.
Well, okay. How about this? I'll try. Might succeed. How about that?
Okay, you go with that one.
Okay. We saw Jewel State. I mentioned that before. We saw Jewel State, who was absolutely delightful, wonderful. Probably not as bubbly, cute as Kaylee, but still was
How tall is she, out of curiosity? Is she short?
right average for a female.
5'4", give or take?
Yeah, probably
Okay.
somewhere in there. But she was wonderful. She had the best reaction to the convention. There was a guy who went up both for Nathan Fillion and for her. We were sitting next to him at her talk, and at the microphone, very first person for Nathan Fillion. We don't know who he is. We don't see him. He's from somewhere else in the room. But you can hear from people saying stuff. He's wearing a kilt, and he has a tattoo on his leg. And he walks up and he says, "Hey, I want to show you a tattoo I have on my leg." And Nathan Fillion's like, "Okay." And you can tell this is one of these creepy ones, first off. And so he walks to the table and he's like, "Okay, everybody, just so you know, we got a guy walking to the table in a kilt about to raise his skirt up to show me his leg. I'm not sure how comfortable I am. You know, but Nathan Fillion's having fun with it. I mean,
Right.
he's not making fun of the guy, just having fun with it. And he's like, "Okay, it would have been cooler if it was my face on your leg, but okay." And I got a laugh from everybody, and then we went on. Sitting next to the guy, it just pure random chance of the Jewel State talk. He gets up and goes away and gets in line, which was great because now I had elbow room, because those things always pack the chairs in too tight.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets in line. I'm like, "Hey, that means I'm going to have elbow room for a long time because these lines are really long." And he didn't jump up immediately, so he's way back in the back. He finally gets up there, and he gets up and realizes it's him when he says, "Hi, it's nice to meet you, Jewel. I'm such and such from wherever he's from." And I asked a question earlier of Nathan Fillion, also had something to show him. I wanted to see if I could show you as well. She's like, maybe. And he said, "Yeah, it's a tattoo on my leg." And so he walks up and he gets close to the table, and we're close enough at this one we can see. And he raises the kilt up, and we're talking like a side, on the hip side. You know, he's not flashing
Yeah, that's
the
fine.
world or anything like that. And he raises it up, and she's sitting at the table and leaning over, you know, looking for it. She don't get too close to the guy, not knowing.
Right, what's she going to say?
And suddenly, her reaction, "That's my face!" And just, she started smiling so big. "And my face is on his leg! It's my face!" And she jumps up and runs around. She has her phone in hand and takes a selfie with this guy's leg. So her face and that face next to each other, and the whole place is dying laughing. It was probably the best reaction of any of the celebrities the entire time, and the guy wasn't creepy. Well, I guess maybe he's a little creepy, but
It's creepy to put someone's face in your.
but he didn't act creepy next to her. Like he he didn't approach without being asked to approach. He didn't do anything.
And you sat next to this guy too.
I sat next to the
Did
guy. Yeah, he's okay, I guess. Nothing
was
weird.
creepy on you?
No, not really.
I mean, have you seen Eurotrip? Scusi.
No, I didn't say that
Never
one.
mind.
Yeah, so that was good. And we saw a couple other celebrities. I'm trying to remember who it was we saw now. That's terrible. I'm suddenly blanking on that. Oh, Doctor Who. Doctor Who fans. We saw Matt Smith.
Who is?
He is the 11th Doctor. So he's one of the Doctors.
The old guy?
No, he's young, wore the bow tie, tweed jacket and bow tie.
Okay, I know
11th Doctor. And looks exactly the same in person as he does in character. Mannerisms are very similar. Not quite as bouncy, but other than that, he was very fun. He seemed to enjoy being there, answered questions. It was great. Then later in the day, we saw Karen Gillan, who you'd probably recognize as a blue, bald alien from
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
So Karen Gillan, who played Amelia Pond, with Matt Smith's Doctor, and Alex Kingston, who is River Song. She's also the mom to the Lances, Laurel and Sarah Lance on Arrow and Flash and such.
I can't remember. Oh, yes.
She's only been like 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah,
or
I
something
blanked
like
for a
that.
second, but yes.
But anyway, so she's been on that. And the two of them is mother-daughter panel. So they got to be on there, and that was good. Although I saw Karen Gillan space out a few times. You can tell, you've heard the same questions over and over and over. And if the question's to somebody else on the panel, your mind wanders. And you could just see it in her face. It wasn't that she was bored. She just completely spaced out. And blank stare, no drool coming out or anything like that. But, just she was somewhere else. Just completely somewhere else. And all of a sudden somebody would say something to her. And then she'd be right back in character. Right back. And while she was, in character, on stage, stage presence, very engaging and all the rest. And they kind of turned things around and they asked questions of the audience. Before you could ask a question, they asked trivia questions of the audience. And that was kind of fun. You could win a banana. Except for the very last person. The last person, the bag the bananas were in, they actually autographed the bag and gave it.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that was neat. Those were fun. So those were the celebrities this year. I do wish I'd seen John Barrowman. He cosplayed as Wonder Woman in a little bitty skimpy Wonder Woman dress for his panel. And he was videotaped with somebody sitting on the Game of Thrones, the Iron Throne in the Wonder Woman dress, acting basically Cersei style, and he bounces around and does his thing.
And I heard he's done with Arrow. No more Arrow for him.
You saw the end of the season,
No.
Arrow? You didn't see the end of the season?
I got bored halfway through and I shut it off.
Okay. Do you care if I spoil anything now?
Yeah.
I won't spoil anything if you don't want to know.
I might get back.
Okay, I won't spoil it then. But they gave him away at the end of the season to come back or not come back. I'll put it that way. They gave him away at the end to come back or not come back. That's as generic as I can give it.
Okay.
My understanding is there's options in contracts that they could exercise or he could exercise or whatever, but we don't know. We don't know if he's coming back or not.
All right.
They did have a Legends Tomorrow, Legion of Doom panel. That was the one I wanted to go to. That was him, Neil McDonough, who was Damien Dark, and I can't remember the actor's name, but Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash.
He was good.
Yeah, so the three of them were on a panel together, which they were fantastic last year on Legends Tomorrow. Which
Never saw it.
I know you got to see it, and I really, when I heard Damien Dark was coming back, I was like, really, my least favorite villain, and all of those shows, the entire runs of all the shows, my least favorite one, you're bringing him back, and he was fantastic on Legends Tomorrow.
Well, he was in Legends Season 1. He was actually really good. Only one episode.
One episode, but when they came back, the three of them work really well. And really, him and John Barrowman as a pair on screen, some actors just pair up really well. Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Abbott and Costello, you name it. There's the classic pairings. The two of them just had great chemistry on screen together.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was fun. What else would you like to know?
Well, pretty much how the show, compared to MegaCon, compared to MegaCon right now, the amount of people that showed up, similar, a lot more?
Somewhere in the mid 80,000s, somewhere like that. I know MegaCon said they were expecting over 100. I really don't think they hit that this year, but once you get above 50 or 60,000, it's just a ton of people.
MegaCon on Saturday, I didn't bother going to the showroom floor. Was that insane? Okay, so about the same amount of people. it does seem like DragonCon had a lot more celebrities.
It has more celebrities. We're not talking such an extreme number more that you feel cheated at MegaCon, but it does have more. And a lot of the ones they have, when you look at the list, are people who don't do panels or anything else. They're in their autograph room. Maybe a Lou Ferrigno level person who, they're there to sign autographs, meet, take pictures, shake hands, and that's it. So you get a lot of that. You get a few. Garrett Wang. Garrett Wang was on Star Trek Voyager, I believe it is. He also is a resident there, and he runs the Star Trek fan panels.
No kidding.
He runs the Star Trek fan panels. Now, he did participate. You had a ton of the Next Gen cast there. You had Jonathan Frakes, Marina Sirtis, Brent Spiner, Michael Dorn, Gates McFadden, and I'm forgetting somebody probably, and him. So you had like a ton of Next Gen cast plus him, and he was moderating the panel. But even some of the fan panels he's on, just because he loves being a part of that world.
Was the 501st Army there? The Star Wars people? For
the parade on Saturday morning. They've got the biggest parade in Georgia. Takes place on Saturday morning of DragonCon, and walks through the streets, and they group it together. Like you have DC heroes, you have Marvel heroes, you have Lego heroes. You have a lot of people that do the boxes.
Awesome. I love the Lego heroes.
The Lego heroes. You've got fantasy. You've got video game themed ones. Each year they might change up their groupings, but they try to group them similarly.
Okay.
And the 501st is always a big chunk marching lockstep together down the street.
That's one thing MegaCon doesn't have is a nice parade.
They need a parade.
They do need a parade. Just take over I-Drive.
I mean, they got a perfect location there for it.
They really do.
Just walk down I-Drive and close it off for an hour or two, and that's all you have to do.
Now, cosplay-wise, was, like,
yeah.
Well, go ahead. What do you think?
Okay, well, DragonCon is known as one of the top 2 or 3 cosplay conventions in the country. That's not a knock on MegaCon or any other one.
No, MegaCon, I would say, like,
they got some great ones.
1 out of every 2 people cosplay, give or take.
Yeah, but it's I won't say it's 100%, but it's a really, really high percentage cosplay. But the quality, the level of cosplay there is just absolutely incredible. You had mentioned before, you were asking in the preview, were there any of the kind of pro or semi-pro cosplayers there?
Yes. We do know Lauren C. was not there. She's trying to be there next year.
Yeah. Now, some of those people show up and walk around and have their picture made and stuff like that, but it's actually against DragonCon policy to charge people for any kind of photographs.
Which they should... And I totally agree with this.
Yeah. Now, if you're a celebrity, that's different. If you are actually an official listed celebrity, you can do that. But you have to apply to being a celebrity if they don't come and recruit you. If you're somebody like, in any of, I won't pick on any one, but any of these pro or semi-pro cosplayers, you have to fill out an application. And that doesn't mean, I'm sure there's a lot get turned down. If you don't get approved as an official guest, you can't charge for photographs.
Cosplayers should never be charged. And this is why another reason I love Lauren C. is I remember at the MegaCon she posted on our Twitter page. It's kind of like a gift for like the head shaking. She seemed really upset by people, charging autographs for cosplayers. Yeah. It's a hobby. It's a love. And you're killing the love of cosplaying. What you do, it's a job, and it should be a job.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So that's one reason you probably don't see as much of that, because it is an official policy. You don't see as many of them as you do.
I wish MegaCon would pretty much do that. I'm not against people making money.
No.
But I don't know. It seems to kill the fan part.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, do you really care about this person? I mean, whoever they are. I mean, no.
No, they look cool.
They look cool.
I've seen Elvis in the street of Vegas. Same thing, essentially.
Yes, exactly. But the amount of cosplay there was incredible. The Marriott is where the biggest bulk of them hang out when they're ready to have pictures taken. Do you remember the Doc Ock from MegaCon this year? He was there. We saw Doc Ock there.
Same guy.
Well, based on looking at the construction of the costume, it looked identical, so I'm assuming it's the same guy.
Okay.
Visually he looked like Doc Ock from the comics. So I mean, yeah, you could in theory have 2 people doing the exact same thing, but being this close, physically this close, city-wise, it's probably the same person.
Now, if we go to DragonCon next year, do we fill out the celebrity part? Because what kind of celebrities are we're B+ listers?
Yeah, we could always try. I'm not sure how far we get.
Well, we're up to like 50 listeners, that kind of stuff. So we're getting there.
We're getting there.
All right.
Hey, some of the people that show up that call themselves celebrities are probably not any bigger celebrity than that.
That's probably true.
Right. Anyway, I will say the fan panels, not just because of mine, but the fan panels are probably my favorite Celebrity panels are great. I like seeing the celebrities. But that stuff also gets recorded, and you can buy the streaming membership. If you have a membership already to DragonCon, it's $10 extra. If you don't, it's $30. And then for 3 months, you can watch any of the big panels, the costume contest, and all that kind of stuff. So anybody who wants to go see any of this, go pay $30 and watch online Matt Smith and Nathan Fillion and all that kind of stuff.
And, all jokes aside, you did come through for me this weekend. My wife's favorite writer loves Laura K. Hamilton.
Okay.
Loves Anita Blake, Vampire Hunter.
Yep.
I'm not into the vampires that much.
No.
They're overdone for me, but she loves them. And she loves Laura K. Hamilton, and the fact that she actually got a nice autographed copy for her birthday, which was yesterday.
So happy birthday.
You made her day.
Rachel. Yep.
Yes, call it to her. You made her day. Thank you so much.
Well,
that was kind of awesome.
And just as long as we're mentioning birthdays, the B-Man's about to get to be an even older Titan.
Yes.
This Saturday. Yeah, this Saturday.
It's during the, again, hurricane, so.
Yeah, so, and my wife's is a few days after that, where she turns the big 50, which appreciate the comments on Wonder Woman, and she does look fantastic as Supergirl and all the rest. For 50, doing great. And that's yours is kind of the day before the hurricane hits, and hers is the day after it hits, if everything stays on exact schedule.
Yeah.
So more than likely, one of you has your birthday completely screwed up as far as on the day itself.
Yeah, well, probably both of us, actually.
Probably both. Probably both.
Mine's going to be a lot of rain, and hers is going to be a lot of cleanup.
So we'll deal with that. It'll be okay. I think that pretty much covers most of the DragonCon stuff. If I think of anything else I didn't mention, I'll make sure next time to say, and this one thing.
And again, you post some pictures. Check out our Twitter page, Instagram, Old Titans. A lot of cool pictures on there.
Yeah, I'll keep posting a few more every day because I took hundreds. Just because so many costumes. And could not believe some of the quality of some of them. And did I post the Neo with all the Men in Black thing?
I did not see that one.
I'll make sure to post that one next.
And this is what I actually was jealous about, because my biggest complaint about the cosplaying at MegaCon was it seemed like everybody did video games. Everybody.
Yeah, there was some
and I'm sure
there.
that was a big amount.
But no, they try to go more comic book, sci-fi, obscure at DragonCon. You get plenty of Superman and all the rest, but people want to do something that really stands out.
Right.
They want to do something. Miss Piggy as Wonder Woman. I mean, Miss Piggy as Wonder Woman was incredible.
That is a great... Actually, my wife's working on cosplay right now.
Yeah?
I'm not telling you what it is, just in case it doesn't get done, but as of right
For
now,
you?
No,
or
for her.
For her. Oh, even better.
She's going to cosplay next year. So,
Hey, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's the plan for us.
All right.
But again, my big complaint was, I think everybody was Overwatch this year. I like Overwatch games.
was huge. Yeah.
And
I didn't see a single one. That didn't mean they weren't there.
Right.
They could have been there. I know the video game panels. DragonCon is spread across 5 hotels and the America's Mart and other stuff. And I don't think I was ever near where the video game panels were, so I probably missed them because of that.
Nothing again. I think it's great when you see a 1 or 2, but it seemed like this year, like last year, my big complaint was everybody was Deadpool.
Yeah.
There were thousands of Deadpools, thousands of Harleys, which I'm usually okay with thousands of Harleys.
Yeah.
And a lot of Overwatch.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see I didn't see it. It was good. I mean, I like the obscure ones.
Yeah.
Those ones mean a lot.
And the mashups. I will say the mashups are some of the
mashups are getting cooler now. And
yeah, I mean, like, again, the Miss Piggy Wonder Woman was just, when you saw it, it was incredible.
You can't think of that, yeah.
How some of these people come up with some of the ideas. Once you come up with them, you go, that's so obvious. Wow, that's fantastic. But until you see it. And I will say, the Bunny Hutch party. The parties are...
Bunny Hutch party.
They have parties. In fact, next time I'll talk more about the parties. But they have parties all over DragonCon every night, included free with your admission and all the rest. Thursday night, the preview night before everything starts, they come as Hef or a bunny. But it's in costume. So you're a Wonder Woman bunny. Or you're an Iron Man, or Tony Stark, Hugh Hefner, or whatever. It's the Bunny Hutch party. And the number of different bunny variations of characters was really cool. And I'll leave you with this one. I'll find the picture later. The mashup of Wolverine and Deadpool with Slave Leia. That was cool.
I don't think I'd want to see that one.
We'll see.
I'm pretty sure I don't want to see that one.
All right, so for our last few seconds here, what's our B-Man question of the week for next time?
We talked about Wonder Woman already.
Yep.
Big success. We both loved it. Is the world finally ready for a female lead superhero character? Not just America. America is obviously ready for it. America's accepting to it.
But is the rest of the world?
Yeah, the rest of the world still seems iffy, or do you think they're finally ready to accept the fact?
All right. It's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, this is John Paul.
B-Man.
We are out of here.